Chess. Fall in love with winning the war. Part 2. As mentioned before, chess is usually divided into 3 phases, with different sets of strategies needed for each: the opening, the middle game, and the endgame. Let's discuss them in detail. Number 1. The opening. This takes place over the first 10 to 20 moves of the game, when players move their pieces to useful positions for the upcoming battle in the middle game and the endgame. Opening theory is concerned with developing your pieces and finding the best moves in the initial phase of the game. A harmonious development of the pieces in this phase will lead to great opportunities for you further on. There are dozens of different openings and hundreds of variants. The Oxford Companion to Chess lists 1,327 named openings and variants. Quite a way to start. Number 2. The middle game. This is usually divided between chess tactics and chess strategy. The strategy concentrates on setting and achieving long-term positioning advantages during the game, for example, where to place and hold the different pieces. Tactics, on the other hand, concerns immediate moves, with a view to gaining the positional advantage intended. Here we see the relationship epitomized, as the two aspects of the gameplay cannot be completely separated. Strategic goals are mostly achieved through tactics, while the tactical opportunities are based on the previous strategy of play. From here and into the endgame, when most of the pieces are getting devoured, kings typically take a more active part in the struggle, and pawn promotion is often decisive. Number 3. The endgame. This is usually a very tense affair, concerned with positions when there are only a few pieces left. These situations are labelled according to which pieces have survived to the bitter end of the battle, with king and pawn endings, or rook versus a minor piece, being the common scenarios. The line between the middle game and the endgame is often not clear, and may occur gradually, or with a quick exchange of a few pairs of pieces. The endgame, however, tends to have different characteristics from the middle game. As mentioned prior, pawns become much more important, as endgames often revolve around players attempting to promote a pawn by advancing it to the opponent's end of the board. There are also psychological aspects of the game. These are very important, especially when considering what to do when you're playing against a better player. We all have bad days, and some days it seems like you're just going to lose every game. Sometimes you have days where you can play the best chess you've ever played, and yet you still lose. It's all just part of the game, so you should not feel bad about it. Indeed, losing should be used as a tool for improvement because, as with everything else, we should and can learn a lot from our mistakes. When you play against a stronger opponent and lose, you'll naturally feel frustrated. The positive to take from this is that you're probably making the same mistakes that you make against weaker opponents. This is what is being exploited by the stronger opponents, which means you can find them and fix them. How to get better at chess. Practice always makes perfect, or at least it makes you get closer to achieving perfection. Additionally, you can improve by analyzing your games, rethinking moves, and by studying different known strategies. Another good idea is to follow games and techniques of great players, including the world chess champion Magnus Carlsen. Furthermore, you can make use of YouTube videos and chess apps which now come with excellent tutorials and simulations. You have the chance to play and repeat scenarios until you figure out set patterns that work in certain situations. Obviously, that all takes time. To get started and see improvement straight away, here are 5 tips to boost your game. Number 1. Protect your king. When checked, you will most likely be forced into making a move you weren't planning on making. Avoid this. Number 2. Advance your pieces. Every move you make should be aimed at placing a piece into a better attacking position. If you attack, your opponent is forced to defend. Number 3. Own the center. If you can place some pieces into the center of the board and defend them with other pieces, this effectively gives you control of the center. Your opponent will be limited to advancing down the sides, thus limiting the effectiveness of any attacking piece. Number 4. Sacrifice if required. This sounds counterintuitive, but it may be of strategic advantage to relinquish a piece to bring an opponent's piece out into the open. And number 5, don't lose tempo. Tempo is a term that originated from Italy, meaning time. A tempo in chess refers to a turn, and turns can be won or lost. How is that, you may ask? Very simple. Remember that in the opening of the game, both players try to develop their pieces as harmoniously as possible. Well, if a player is forced to make a retreat of a piece, it means that he or she has lost a tempo. Basically, it's like they never performed that particular move, so they lost a move. A tempo. Think of it as the equivalent of an opponent getting 2 moves for the price of 1. Your next move. If you or your child would like to try a chess class, We have one-to-one lessons, as well as an online club at chess.com. Here you are invited to pit your wits against other opponents in the club. Download our free Chess 101 guide from the link in the description, which is perfect for younger players in need of a kickstart. If you'd like to try out a session online, you can always get in touch and arrange a class to suit you. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more educational videos like this and future updates.